My name is Lakeisha, and I am part of a young women's group called YWISE. And I am also one of the hosts on A Teen's Journey that features live on Facebook 6 p.m. every Wednesday.
Hi, I'm Lakeisha. I'm a member from a young women's group called YWISE. Living in Ocean View is like out of the ordinary, like it's like any teenager. Like you'll see a lot of things like good and bad, but mainly I'll focus on the good things, but also you see the negativity that's also impacting other teenagers.
My experience as a teen is that we face many challenges, but even though we have many challenges, there's always the best possible outcomes that we as teens try to reach. And living in a community like Ocean View that's full of gangsterism, there's also good aspects to it, and there's also good things that Ocean View brings.
Sorry guys. Good evening. Welcome to the podcast once again. And tonight's topic is financial problems. So, what is financial problems? This means it's when you're unable to pay off your debt over a short or long period of time. So, Lakeisha, what is your opinion of this meaning of financial problems?
So before I go into financial problems, I just want to greet everyone that is tuned in here this evening. Thank you once again for tuning into episode 4 or episode previous. I think it's episode 4 of A
Yes.
Teen's Journey. We delighted to have you here with us this evening. So, what is financial problems or financial issues? So it's basically what we as what our parents struggle with, and sometimes we as youth also struggle with when we are financially not yet financially stable, or when there's always a lack of financial support when it comes to different things that we need within within our community, within our schoolwork, within different factors of our lives. So financial problems to me is also when you aren't yet financially stable, or you don't have a budget plan or a set plan on where you want to go to be financially stable as a youth, and how you within your family has to also fall in the financial unstableness within the family or within yourself. So
Yeah.
back to you.
So, what causes financial problems? Poor budgeting is the most common one. So, poor budgeting for parents as well, because parents they obviously make debt, like they overspend, but they don't they know the income for the month, but they have expenditure that is um more than the budget that they have. So for them is like they have to make more debt, and obviously on that they have to how can I say, they have to pay out more than what they have. And that will obviously lead for them to have less money than to provide for the families. And the youth will obviously notice the pattern. And for youth, it's the same because, like you see, maybe like your friend, you know you have this amount of money. You see your friend having this nice pair of tackies because they can afford it, yet you want that, but you know you don't have something to eat for the week or for the night, but yet you still gonna go buy that pair of shoes. So yes, and poor budgeting will also lead you to poverty at the end. What is your opinion about that, Lakeisha? Do you have any other causes that causes financial problems?
So what causes financial problems is many things. It can be tips, it can be
Mm,
loans, and even be the the addiction to spending money, because within the community where we are living in, most of our teens are
mm,
materialistically influence. They influence our materialistic things like fashion, shoes, and whatever. So when it comes to youth and wanting to fall into the peer pressure, going back to our 2 weeks ago's podcast about peer pressure, that falls in financial problems fall within that category, because now you want this pair of shoes, you want this name brand, it must be name brand, it must be this. You put all the pressure with you put all the pressure on your
mm,
parents, and then that is how, because your parents is also they also material, they grew up in this community, and they're so used to fitting in and not really like being different. So now they will buy you that pair of shoes because you demanded it or you just wanted it, even though there won't be supper this evening or bread on the table, because just because they are materialistically addicted. So like financial, like this, what leads to poverty also is the lack of knowledge. If you don't have a knowledge of your money, or how to save your money and how to set up a budget plan. So what is a budget
mm,
plan? It's a plan where you have all your necessities placed down, your wants and your needs. Many times people go for the wants and not the needs. You see, because
mm,
they're so addicted to spending, they're so materialistic, they don't place down they're more worried about the needs than the wants. So a budget plan is putting down the needs and the
mm,
wants and price of each thing financially according to your salary or your income that you have.
mm,
So before I like continue, or before Lakeisha continues, what does it mean to be financially stable? So what it means to be financially stable is us just to be at a point in your life, or in be at a point in your finances where you are able to coordinate it, to save, to spend wisely, and also to a point where you don't really need loans or tips to pay for anything, or
mm,
to contribute or put bread on the table for your family. You don't need to go over budget or overspend. You just, when you're financially stable, you have your finances in order, you know what you're spending it on, you set on what this and that, and you just know how
mm.
everything goes. So that is what it means to be financially stable, is to have a set plan, and also to use and spend your finances wisely.
Yes. Um. So, um, I'm gonna go on now. What is examples of financial problems? So lack of income or job loss. So lack of income, this will means that you will barely get by. And seeing that COVID hit, like many of people got retrenched, they had to retire. Some lost jobs because of the population in the workplace, and it led for them to losing jobs, and it made them unemployed and no had no source of income. to provide for the families, and yes, I couldn't help them pay off the debt or pay off student loans and stuff like that. So another one is unexpected um expenses. So you don't see those expenses coming. They are like you don't expect it and it like at all. You don't see it coming on. So examples of these will be like your medical bills or lawyers' bills, because you never know when you like go to court or something, because like you're budgeting, so but you like for us, like we are, how can I say, we're in the average middle class, so we don't actually plan on going for medical aid, or we don't plan on making we don't put like get insurance on lawyers or stuff like that. So we don't save for that. We don't put money aside for that. So that will be an unexpected expense to us as average middle class people that has less finance. And another one is like too much debt. You're struggling to make monthly payments. Like for instance, like when you have a mortgage bond, that is like when you take a loan for a house, you're gonna pay so much money. But obviously, do that, sorry, if you do that, you're gonna obviously have a job for that. But you never know what comes around the future. You might lose your job, but yet you still have this house and you still have to pay off this debt over 20, 30 years. And how you gonna do that if you might lose like your job in the next 5 years or so? And like your student loans, you're gonna have to work for it, but you don't necessarily get the job immediately, but you still have to pay it off. And if you pay it off, how do you do it? You know, like you pay it off in like some like constant amounts, and so because you also need your my your budgeting for like groceries and stuff like that. And another thing is like your overspending. Like Lakeisha said, you're spending more than what you have in your bank account. Just spend what you have, guys. Please try and budget. And bad credit. A bad credit means like a person's history of failing to pay bills on time. So you have to like if you do take out loans or you take out this accounts of like by acres or wherever you shop clothing and whatever, please make sure you pay on time, because or don't even make open an account because it's such a unnecessary waste of money. Just use the cash that you have. Use your money wisely, in other words. And also when it comes to materials or like material things, clothes is a need, but then you get name brands. It's not a need, that's a want, guys. You can go for the cheap things, like Mr. Price. Go to Pick and Pay clothing, there we go. And lack of savings. That is another thing. Where people don't know how to save. You can go to your bank, ask them to open your bank, like for open a savings account, but you mustn't touch it. That's the thing. Don't touch it. Or open an investment. Go for that, guys. Just open an investment account, open a savings account, but don't touch the money. The only time you want to touch it is when you actually need the money, when you is necessary for any events and so forth. And need for financial independence. It's like finding other ways to earn additional income. Do you have anything to say about that, Lakeisha?
So, Lakeisha has covered a lot of topics on financial issues and how to be financially stable and what causes it. But what if you don't have bad spending habits, you're just unemployed? Now that is really a question to dwell on, because what if you don't have bad spending habits but you're just unemployed? So how then if there's no sort of income, no sort of salary? how then do you deal with these financial issues? Like, say for a scholar, say for instance, a scholar, someone that's on college, someone that's on school, someone that's seeking financial
Mm.
support from their parents or others that's supporting them financially within this time. So, if you are unemployed and you are receiving whatever you are receiving from other people or someone that supports you financially within your family, I'd say like save that, like always think wisely, think for the future. Even though you're unemployed, build your way. Think about even have a budget plan before you even have the money. Have a budget plan. Get educated on finances so that you know when you are now, when you get this job, when you get this salary, you know, okay, um this is sorted out. I have money, I will set money apart for this and set money apart for that. I will invest in this or not invest in that, or I will rather save than go to a loan shark. You see, so even though you like unemployed and you don't have a job or salary and you get finances somewhere, always think about saving. Think about the future. Try and make your circumstances easier. Make use of what you have. Like when you aren't like when you aren't having a salary or whatever it might be. Like also another question was, how does financial issues affect people that cannot afford to even buy clothes? It does affect people emotionally. Like when you feel the need, like youth, when you see your friends, peer pressure back into that. You see your friends having this clothes on and that clothes on, and you can't afford it, but you really want that. But also you must think about the bigger picture. Think about saving too. Think about the future. Do not pressurize your families or your mom or your dad in this time. What if they are the ones that also need financial support? Or sorry, what if they are the ones that also need mental support in this financial crisis? You see, and now you adding more pressure to what they are experiencing. So, like, what if the cost of living is more than what you earn? That is a very deep question, because right now many things in the food market has gone up. Petrol prices has rises, oil prices rise, sugar prices are rising, and a lot of things like the cost of living is really expanding. Like the prices are expanding more than what your salary is, and that can really affect you negatively. But it can also reduce the way you spend, like the way you spend on things that isn't really needed, like luxury, and you're actually spending on things that you do need, and using like saving small portions of what you need for your family, or trying like as a youth, maybe your family is going through a financial crisis, and now you're still in school or in college, and they ask you, we need your financial support to get through this. And it's tough because now you have to choose if you must do you remain at school, or do you actually look for a job and try and support them. But then again, the unemployment rate is high, and jobs and opportunities are not really a lot. But if we think, like, before we continue with financial this topic, finances and financial issues, I just want to say happy Freedom Day to everyone. You know, the reason why we celebrate Freedom Day in South Africa is because Freedom Day was a day that we got a chance to democratically vote and to vote for who we want in government positions. And also, it was the end of apartheid and the start of a new South Africa. That's the reason why we celebrate Freedom Day, to unite all races, and also to think about, to look back upon all the lives that was lost during this time, just so that we can have the opportunity, and so that we can have the how can I explain, so that we can have the broad span of opportunities and things that we didn't have back in the days as people of color, or as mixed and blacks that time. In the time of apartheid, you were put in certain groups, and the the one group they were privileged to everything, which was the whites. They had the better education. They had the best, and the blacks and the coloreds they were just set aside. They they had to, like in the education sector, they could only learn until a certain amount of knowledge. But the whites could learn the broad span, wide span. If you don't know something, you can get from anyone. But if you were a black and a colored, you just had to know what the government gave you. So I'm glad we're celebrating Freedom Day. I'm glad there is a Freedom Day, because without this day and without the lives that we've lost, we wouldn't have been able to even have the opportunity to speak here on this podcast with you guys and express our opinions as youth. So I think it's good that Freedom Day is here. And also, if you guys don't know that the president is having an event in Mpumalanga to celebrate Freedom Day all around South Africa. So you can check that out on the news. You will see it on the news, on television, wherever and whenever. So back to you, Lakeisha.
So another question was, in your opinion, what can teenagers do to earn their own money? So teenagers can they can tutor like a subject that they excel in, like like earn their money honest ways. Like they can even do yes, like Isha.
So Lakeisha said tutoring. I do tutoring. So it's really the amount of money that you receive is really a good amount. So it's actually very fun also if you like the subject, and you also helping younger children or even older children to excel in a certain subject. And it's good experience for you to put on your CV one day when you leave. Like I'm in matric, so next year I will go into the world of work or college or university, and I will have that I can put on as experience channel. So back to you, Lakeisha.
Yes, babysitting as well. That is also another it's like a way to earn your money as teenagers. Yes, even like giving music classes if you excellent in music. Like yeah, do something that you passionate about, and to learn others about your passion if they're not good in it but they want to learn it. That's a way of earning money the honest way. We don't want to go no negativity ways here, no negative ways to earn money. Yes, so back to the topic, how to solve financial problems. Here this is a like a 8 step way of how to solve it. So number one is live on cash for 2 weeks. So basically, what this means is like just use cash. Try to put your debit cards away for at least 2 weeks. Try not to use them, and be mindful of your spending. So when you go to the the shopping center, to clothing stores, whatsoever, like whatever you gonna spend your money on, use cash instead of your debit or credit cards. Um, find out where your money goes. So by the means of this is like try and track down what your spending was for the 2 weeks that you were just using cash, or yeah, just using cash. So sorry, then you create a spending budget. That's number four. So Lakeisha went in depth in this like earlier on, but I'll just go further on with this. Like when you create a spending plan, you create it in a manner where you're just gonna put on your needs and not your wants, because you want to see like exactly what amount of money is gonna go out of your bank account, because you don't want to put unnecessary stuff on there. Like you want your normal bread or whatsoever you need, that for household things you need that exactly on on your spending plan. So number 5 is find a replacement for one large expense. So what I mean with this is like cutting out a few expenditures like that is too much for you to handle within your budget, and at least try and find a replacement with it that is gonna cost you way cheaper. So I can give an example with maybe like, say for instance, like the expensive hair product, like Auntie Jackie's for instance. You can go and buy this cheap product where it's gonna be more effective for you, because Auntie Jackie's cost almost 150 for that small bomb. Oh, tab. I couldn't get to the word, but yes, a small tab is almost 150. So you can reduce it and get you the substitute product instead. And number 6 is identifying expenditures you can reduce. So obviously you can reduce how can I say, and like luxuries is another one. Don't be too much on luxuries, but you can spoil yourself here and there, like once in a while. And like, but you have to identify areas that need special attention. So by saying that is like when you know you are um you're not giving too much attention to this area that is maybe like all your insurances in there. Try and focus on doing that, because at the end of the day, when you actually in need of like that, your insurances are all paid up to the date, and like you can just have your backup there. Then you're not gonna have to take out more cash from your own pocket where you're gonna like, how can I say, where you're gonna overspend eventually because you're not paying that. And yeah, and then you because you're paying more attention to the unnecessary things, which is maybe like your luxuries, your name brands, all that luxurious outings, your stuff like that, vacations and stuff. Don't spend unnecessary money on that, guys. And for youth also, like if you know you have like a special you may have to like save for the future, and you know like what area you in, like you have to focus on, like focus on saving for like your family, or like focus on obtaining savings for you to go study further. Don't even let your family know that you even have a savings account if you have one, because that's the way where they're gonna try and get your money just for them. And create a plan to pay off your debt. Meaning, by this is like just make contingency plans like plan A, plan B. How you gonna pay off your debt? Like make like um 3 to 6 months or 6 to 12 months on now you're gonna pay off your debt, because the easier the sooner you pay off your debt, the more options you have. But I don't want to go with that more options, because you want to be done with debt by then. You don't want no more loans. You don't want no more nothing. You just want to be clean. You want to be financially independent. You don't have to like a postal that shark loans or banks, whoever you still owe money to. You just have to pay off that debt, and then improve, like educate yourself on improving your level of financial literacy. What I mean by this is when you eventually when you go to a bank, they're gonna give you that high terms of financial stuff. If I would like keep learning, like it's better to learn more about that financial terms, because like they can give you terms such as debentures. Then you're gonna sit there like, what is debenture? You're gonna know eventually that's a loan. And even an asset that's gonna be your main resources and stuff like that. So you're gonna have to like eventually have to encourage yourself to learn more about financial terms in the way of saving. Yes. You have any opinion on that, Lakeisha, of the 8 steps?
I feel like you have covered a lot of everything that we need in order to be financially stable or in order to come out of financial distress, to put it that way. So, like, one of the questions that hit me was like, how do you cope if you are just poor, your family's poor, there's no form of income. That is a that is really a deep thing to think about. Because in our communities, in communities like ours, where gangsterism is form of a big form of influence, to say it that way, it is like hard to see other influences that can help you financially, to say it that way. Like, that's also what sparks gangsterism, or what causes gangsterism to become famous. Because now the gangster or whatever knows that your family, they don't have any form of income or any form of financial support, and how they will support your family in return for this, that, and that. And now that's how gangsterism sparks and how it grows, and how the broad group starts expanding. Like, how do you, like, what do you do when there's no income? Like, there's also another thing. It's not also wrong to ask sometimes, to ask other people, for help within this time when there is no income. Don't give up. Just don't give up. Keep trying. Also, try to get a job. Try to come up with ideas. Think wisely. Think creatively. Many times I want to think creatively, like, what can we do that hasn't been done in the community yet, that will bring a form of income in. Think broadly. Think broadly. The more you think, if you have a business plan or even a financial plan set out, and there's nothing at home, you don't even have food, you don't really have the clothes, but you have that in mind, and that is like you sit on that. You can achieve great things because you can take it to the counselor or whoever it is that deals with these things, and they will be like, wow, that's a great idea. And because you showed us this and you have a way forward, we will present you a job or a position, or we will help you financially, um whatever it is. So another thing is, like, don't be afraid to ask. Always be with your family during this time. Support one another. Don't give up, and never also stop praying, because God is also a form of life. He helps us within our deepest struggles. So
Mm,
yes, back to financial issues. It is financial issues is really deep. Like, it's a deep topic to talk about. Many youth experience it within their families. Times of the month where it's dry, and times of the month where you have food and everything. And times of the month where things are going down. You have to now decide, should I go with my friends? Once I need to support my family. I can't go and
mm,
spend this amount and that amount. Like, I feel like Lakeisha covered most of what you need. Like, a financial plan is important. Know how to use your money, know how to get out of this, and always remember, have a support system. Have people that support you mentally also, because your mental health is more important also. So that if your mental health is sorted out, most of your other issues become sorted out, because now you have a good mindset, everything is clear. There is times when your mental health is out of order, but you know that you can overcome that, because you have the support, you have a support group. Whether you don't have, what if you were orphan also? Well, that's good.
mm,
That's not that bad. I mean, it's not that bad, because there is people that will support you, that will see who you are and help you within your struggles. So always remember, get yourself a support system. A support system is very important within financial distress. So
yes.
yeah.
And like you were saying, like with the business plan, like even if I have an idea that was similar that your that was used already, but you have the idea that that can be used like way better. You can enhance whatever has been done already to a different level, and like, and when you take it to the when you go present your idea, they will eventually fall in love because like you're giving them something that no one has ever thought about, because you like thinking out of the box. That's a way of making like getting a source of income for a person that has no income, guys. And like I was gonna say, like I've covered almost most like everything that I have. So yeah, I just want to go in depth about this topic. Like financial problems is big in communities, guys. Like we've not experienced this just through the pandemic. We've experienced this going from years and years of experience, because every like you get each and every household that has this problem. Like Lakeisha said, you know what time of the month you have food, or and you know what time of month you don't have food. So by the means of that, like I can say like in between those days, I go plenty because that is my specialty for me to earn money. And by the time when I know there's no food, I buy food because that's the way of how I support my family. Yes. You have anything else to go in depth with what topic location?
So, Lakeisha said she helps her family by using a talent. So, find a way like to how can I say, find a way to put your talent out there, but also in a way that it can bring finances to you. So when it's the dry month or the dry time of the month, it ain't that dry anymore. You have whatever it is that you need to keep going, and also try to avoid that from happening. Try to spend wisely. Use whatever use whatever you have and make um make use of it. Like be grateful for what you have also. Don't expect to um like youth. Don't expect now to have the most expensive shoes and name brands and things. Then your family has to suffer financially or be um or they come the dry times, and then you the one is complaining there's no bread, there's nothing for the bread, but you were the one, you wanted that shoe, you wanted that sweater, you wanted that V jean or whatever it is, in the community. Like in the community is just too materialistic. If everyone has, if there was more like if everyone used literally the mental, if everyone used their talents in a form of business and structure, or even in a way to bring income within the community, there wouldn't be much gangsterism. There wouldn't even be much unemployment like there is in our country. Like also the real reason why we also spoke about financial issues is because we know within COVID time, even before COVID, we always every youth in their family, most families they go through a time of financial issues or financial downfall where they have to now cut spending, cut this, cut going out with friends, whatever it is. But when COVID was there, it hit many families hard. But also now, like now, also today's Freedom Day, you know, it's also Freedom Day is also celebrating that we put the national disaster is over, and we've come this far. Even the floods that happened in KZN now recently has also caused many financial issues because now they or it has caused also many people to be homeless, many people to lose electricity, water, food. How are they coping within this time? So the government they're using whatever they have to support those people within this time. But also, what if you're not getting support from the government? And I say it's also good to try and find a form, try and do something that can help you to support your family within the time. Like also use your talents, use what you have, make use of what you have. Try to aim higher. Financial issues isn't really it isn't the worst of the issues that we come from, but it isn't also the greatest. It isn't also a good time. It isn't also a bad time. You know it's just the way your support system is, and the way you put your mind and your head and set plan that you have that will cause you to come out of financial distress. So I feel like youth, you as youth, think more about what you what you need. Like now in a time like when you're in your final year, right? You in matric. Next year you have to go into the big world. It actually scares you, knowing that the unemployment rate is here, is very high, and all these prices went up, petrol, whatever it is, taxes also, we in our subject mathematical literacy, we cover taxes, tax rebates, all the things, tax formal, tax payable. There's so many types of taxes that you have to pay, that is really up there, you know, just so that we as a country can even survive. So what I'm trying to say is like, if a lot of people save and had a set plan, had a budget, instead of spending that much, you wouldn't really go into such a deep financial disaster where you now have to now try to make ends meet. So yeah, Lakeisha, do you have anything else that you wanna add on?
Um, yeah, actually, this topic was inspired by me through a Dormin video. Others, where they a family they grew up financially stable, but as their child grew older, like their living expenses got too much. The health um insurances were cut off from the bosses and whatsoever. And then like when I got to this girl's birthday, she was expecting to have two pair of Chanel shoes, like, and her dad could only afford one pair. And then she also like expected dad to buy her the 11, the iPhone 11, yeah. But then her dad couldn't. Her dad could only afford the 64 gig, and her phone was like her last phone got like 250 gig. And when it also come to like when she asked her dad for money to go out to eat with her friends, her dad could only give her like $64. And then her mom went to try and explain to her that she doesn't see the sacrifice that her dad made, because her dad eats every night the same food. Her dad has the like the phone that he has for many years since she was like still a toddler, and even the shoes he's wearing has holes in them. And that made her like realize that she was actually selfish for not seeing what the dad has done for her. And then she actually returned everything because she was actually trying to save and for the family, because like she actually knew, she got a better understanding of what situation they were in. So yeah, that's what inspired me to do this podcast tonight.
Yes, and we actually also what inspired us was how much how much youths actually sorry, what inspired us was also how much youth actually wanted us to how much they wanted us to how much they wanted this topic to be talked about and be brought up, because many youth
Yes.
they faced financial difficulties and they look for a way to come out and whatever it is that they're going through, so now they try and work through that, you see. Yeah, so I'd like to say thank you everybody for tuning in this evening. We hope that those financial issues and the financial steps to gain financial stability helps you guys within this time. So we really do appreciate everyone that came. Thank you, Dylan. Awesome podcast and great topic. Thank you, Dylan, for your comment. We thank you for tuning in this evening. Thank you everybody else for
Thank
tuning in.
you.
We want to greet our those that tuned in this evening.
Thank you guys for tuning in. It was such a nice topic to talk about this evening. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening further and have a blessed Freedom Day further.
Yes. Thank you guys